Hey, thanks for slithering in. Today we are back in The Sims 4 building a craftsman styled home decorated for the Christmas holiday, also known as Winterfest in-game. Since I like the alliteration of Christmas craftsman, we are in San Sequoia. I think it just made sense. To be honest, I think I have only ever built this style of home in this world, but in my defense, Growing Together has the perfect items for it. So whenever I think craftsman, I think San Sequoia. It's kind of like whenever I also think of two-door homes, I automatically want to go to Windenburg, or if I think of a cottage, I think of cottage living and Henford on Bagley. What you just saw was me trying to put down a garage and then not liking it, so I decided to start with the main house. The columns are what really help with the craftsman style. It's very common to use really thick columns and even exposed beams to show off how sturdy a house is. I also work in kind of a strange pattern here to kind of piece this together. After the porch, I added a second floor and then kind of started on some roofing, but then I go back to adding the garage again. I'm just all over the place. A little bit more about this house. I did not limit myself to any packs, so pretty much everything here is fair game. There is room for 4 Sims and a dog or a cat, but honestly, spoiler alert, I did not include a litter box. I totally forgot. So in total, we have 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, and not one, not two, but 3 Christmas trees. Plenty of room for your average family, and it is already up on the gallery if you'd like to download it and add it to your game. My ID again is Symtherin, same as it is here on the channel and on all other social media places that you can find me. There are a couple of things about the exterior that I am actually really proud of. So first, the driveway. I love like the little diagonal pieces instead of just having a completely straight driveway going out to the street. I really liked using that brick as well. That is from a base game fence, and kind of framing it that way looked really cool in my opinion. At some point, I do consider changing the swatch, but don't worry, I will change it back because I end up discovering that there is a brick swatch on those columns. Second, the roofing. Roofs are also really important for a craftsman styled home. They're supposed to look kind of like wide, have wide eaves or something like that, and to look strong, if that makes any sense at all. But even though there's nothing fancy going on about it up there, there's still something so satisfying about the end result. For windows and doors, I exclusively use the ones from Growing Together. I remember loving these items when the pack came out, so it was really fun having an excuse to use them again. I do not keep them in this light brown swatch though. You all know, if you've been here for a minute, I love a dark wood home, and this one gets that full treatment. As we continue to work on the exterior a little bit, let's check in. How are you? Are you celebrating any holidays this year? If so, let me know which one and what your favorite tradition is. I have a few traditions that I actually really enjoy. I really like the holidays because they bring us all together. For example, my extended family always makes sure that as many of us can get together at least once around the holidays. We're all kind of spread out, so it's really nice to see some family I don't normally get to see any other time of the year. At these gatherings, we always do a white elephant, which if you've never played before, everyone pretty much brings a present and then we pull numbers. So whoever gets number 1 gets to pick from the pile of presents first. Then number 2 can either steal what the first person got or pick another present from the pile to open. That goes on and on and on until we get through all the numbers, but the fun part is always stealing from someone, especially if there's a very popular gift that everyone has their eye on. Then, on Christmas Eve, my boyfriend's family gets together and they play a bunch of different games, like kind of those minute to win it games sort of things. So that's always really fun and really competitive. And they also do a Secret Santa, but that's always fun to just kind of see who got you and, the anticipation of finally revealing who you had in the Secret Santa. And finally, on Christmas Day, my immediate family does a little bit of a Christmas brunch and gift exchange. Fun fact though, I absolutely love gift giving and trying to find the perfect gift for everyone on my list. I have actually, to be honest, been known to go a little heavy sometimes on the gift giving, but I just can't help it. When I see something that I think someone's going to love, I have to get it for them. It's just really fun for me. The holiday season is honestly just such a stressful time for a ton of reasons, but I really do like finding those cozy, slower moments. Just like playing my favorite cozy games and building in The Sims 4 and sitting here hanging out with you. Adding the rest of the windows now, some of them do end up getting these awnings that are from Seasons. I think they match the vibe I'm going for pretty well. Some of the other windows will get flower boxes, the ones from Lovestruck. I used them on the front of the build as well. Did I mention that I'm not limiting any of my packs for this one? I might have mentioned that a little earlier. So here's another friendly reminder that I'm not limiting my packs for this build. Next up, we are going to find some wallpaper. Growing Together comes with some really good options for both the interior and the exterior. I knew that I definitely wanted to include the siding on the garage and the top floor. On the first floor, I end up grabbing some brick. This makes me think that maybe at some point in the home's history, a family who lived here built an extension on top of it. Oh, actually, it looks like I blended both of the siding and brick on both floors of the house. Well, either way, it's mostly brick on the bottom. Maybe there was also a side extension. Does that make any sense? I also add other details like floor trim and columns. This for me is like the icing on the cake, right? Especially columns. I don't know what it is about putting them on every corner in a build, but it just looks nice, okay? I am using the ones from Get Together here. Those are probably actually my most used columns in the whole game. Would you agree that they are the best? I think I would agree that they are the best. On the roofing, I end up using a base game trim, and I first tried a really dark black pattern for the roof, but it felt like a little too much contrast. So I land on a reddish brown that helps kind of tie in with the bricks around a lot. And then I will add some final touches to the garage here before hopping into landscaping. I start off by laying out where I exactly want the landscaping to go with terrain paint. I know this is kind of a risky thing to do sometimes because terrain paint tends to disappear when you exit the game and come back and reload into the lot, but it is a habit that I cannot get out of. Plus, I personally think it just helps me see the vision. It's kind of like a sketch, you know. I end up taking it all the way around the home and decide I want to add even more fencing. I start with some of the brick fence again, but I'll end up choosing a picket fence, I think from the toddler stuff pack. I can't remember the exact name of it, but this home was just screaming for it. I also created some of these flower boxes in the front with half walls painted with some brick wallpaper, and I stick a couple of red flowered bushes in them. I am just really obsessed with this little detail because I think it just does a lot of work, and I need to remember to do this in more builds in the future. We have now entered the debug menu. This is my happy place. I made sure to filter by Growing Together so that I could first grab some of the trees and bushes that can be seen around the world. As I always say, this is the best way to blend in a build to any world. I get really picky with the trees here, but I do eventually end up settling on one. I also made sure to grab some bushes and piles of rocks. I've been enjoying adding rock piles to landscaping lately. I used to do this like just religiously with the ones from base game and kind of make my own piles, but using the ones that come from the debug menus really help make the build feel a little different, especially when you start comparing your builds to other builds. You know, they start not looking exactly the same all the time. It looks like I decided to do something different with the trees after framing the house with the pine trees. This is also a pretty common detail I like to add. It helps give more height levels to an otherwise flat landscape. For color, I end up using only like white and red flowers. I think that definitely helps with like the holiday Christmassy feel and vibes, even though once we go into winter, all of this will die. That's pretty dark, actually, but unlike my last winter build, I am landscaping in summer to guarantee that it'll look okay in other seasons. Plus, I figured that this house could be used all year long. All you'd have to do is take down the holiday decor. Just going to fill in some holes now in the flower beds with some more pops of red around the place. Then we are going to filter by seasons and the holiday pack to finally start pulling out some of the decorations. Honestly, they should do more free holiday packs, but for like different cultures. I think that would actually be a really great way to kind of keep adding more inclusivity into the game. So I knew I wanted the little reindeer out front. They are just super adorable. But I also ended up grabbing some nutcrackers to place in front of the stairs as well. I would actually love a holiday gnome in game. I have a couple in real life because I have a problem. So last year, my grandmother actually gave me a spoon rest of a gnome tangled in Christmas lights. It's so cute. And just last week, she gave me a gift because she could not wait till Christmas since she wanted me to get some use out of it throughout the holiday season. She's so nice. She gave me matching mugs with that same little gnome. Oh my god, I have used it every day since for my nightly hot cocoa while I'm building. These things just bring me so much joy. That's honestly my 2026 goal. It's just to embrace the things that bring me more joy more often. That means from gaming to reading to having more quiet, cozy moments with friends and family, and even to cuddle with my pets a little more too. My cat and dog are not getting any younger. To be honest, my cat just turned 17 and has just started having some health issues come up, and my dog is 11. So I plan to make sure that I make even more moments for them. And yeah, okay, sorry to get all sentimental there, but back to the build. We are now working on the backyard. The backyard is very tiny, but I was able to fit in a swing set and one garden pot. I really wanted to prioritize outdoor activities for kids, so we have that swing set, but I also find the hopscotch item too and end up putting that here up front. And then after adding a grill and a welcome mat on the front door, look at the cute little holiday llama. I love it so much. Here it is. Oh, so cute. Okay, it's time to furnish the garage. My vision for the garage was using it as storage and a mini home gym. Very mini, actually, because it is just a spin bike that I put in here. I leaned heavily into items from the restoration kit. It's been a while since I've used some of these items, so I was really happy to include them here. Other than the bike, this garage and this space is just purely decorative. I do also add the holiday decorating box that comes from Seasons. That way you can add even more decorations to your house in live mode. We will try and do that a little later too when I get a family onto this lot. But like I said, this is where the family will store any tools or items that they probably don't need very often. That fan too is actually functional, and I actually think that your Sims might get a moodlet when using it if I'm not mistaken. I thought that would come in handy when you are working out on that bike. I even remembered this wall decor item with the rakes and shovels on it. This was such a perfect spot for them. And then I add some curtains from werewolves, kind of thinking that if you are in here working out that you wouldn't want people to be able to see you. At least I know I wouldn't. Oh, I don't do werewolves. I actually do cottage living. I am totally just kidding. And then I just add some floor details here, like some oil stains and some like sawdust, because maybe you didn't quite clean up after your mess after working in here on something, if your sim works on here on something. And yeah, just adding a couple of other clutter items like pet food and storage bins. We're starting on the interior now. First off, the kitchen, the heart of the home. It should be no surprise at this point that I am using these beautiful base game counters and cabinets. I just can't help it, guys. I love them so much. This actually might even be my favorite swatch, too. This room is kind of a walkthrough room, too, if that's even a term. You can get here through the entryway, go out to the backyard, and easily get to the dining room through the single tile archway. For appliances, I stick with a base game stove and fridge, but I did have to use the sink from Kitchen Clutter. I love that sink. It has dishes sitting in it, a perfect detail for a busy family home like this one. I decided to ditch the wooden floor and try every single tile option before choosing this classic black and white tile, and then pair it with this growing together wall tile in a dark blue swatch. The other side of the room needed some kind of detail. It did take a while for me to kind of figure out exactly what I wanted to do over there. I tried wall decor, an end table, and even thought about changing up some of the wallpaper on that side of the room too. I hated it all. It really did feel like everything I tried to do just was not perfect enough and didn't really, I don't know. It's because that single tile archway was there and it was really difficult to try and figure that out. So I had to distract myself a little bit by adding other details, and I remembered some wall decor that could go on the exterior of the house. We're going to pop out there in just a second, where I'm going to add some garland in front of the windows on the top floor, and I even add a red bow on the garage. I honestly always forget about that red bow. It comes in other swatches too, but I always forget that that is an item that also came with some sort of base game update at one point or another. I just can't remember which one. There have been so many base game updates that I just cannot keep track, but we're also going to add a trash can. I think I get a burglar alarm here and my favorite little dine out plant. I just cannot help it. She's gorgeous. I love her. She is in every single one of my builds, but we get those, and I add a thermostat upstairs too because I figured you might need to change the weather or the temperature inside the house. But here is what I'm talking about, getting these pieces of garland up across the window. First I had that bow right up there in dead middle, but I don't know. I didn't like it, and that's when I ended up putting it on the garage to kind of pair with the snowman that we already have up there. The house definitely needed a little bit more love out here for the decoration, so I'm glad I remembered all of these different options as well. Kitchen attempt number 2. This is what sticks. I add a half wall and some more counter space. I was planning on cluttering the kitchen quite a bit, like cluttering it up so much, as I like to do. The holidays is a great time to do some baking. And with the kitchen clutter kit and even the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack, we got a ton of more baking decorations. Plus, I had to include the mixer too. That was pretty much a no-brainer. What other clutter pieces make an appearance here? We have some pots, paper towels, a bread box, utensil holder, spice rack, the tea bag holder that I always pretend is coffee because I'm not really a fan of tea, but I do love coffee. These counters are going to get pretty much filled to the brim with stuff, but I do leave one of the counters by the half wall empty for prep. We're going to get all of that clutter out now. I do this trick that I don't talk about enough. With the cheat bb.move objects, you can place items on a surface, for example, a kitchen counter, then move the kitchen counter away from the wall. You can hold Alt and pick up that item and pretty much kind of make it float over to the spot on the counter that where the counter is actually going to return to. This is a great way to get that cluttered look by bypassing item slots and not needing to use any other mods like the tool mod, for example. I can only speak for PC though. I am not sure if there is a way to do this on console. I have so much respect actually for the builders on consoles. I do not think I would have the patience to even learn how to use those build tools on a controller. I think that's just insane to me. In my mind, it doesn't compute. It's really amazing what those simmers create too, and very impressive, but I digress. Our kitchen is almost all cluttered up now. We're going to add a few extra details to try and make it feel somewhat decorated for the holiday season. I don't like to put too much in a kitchen or even like bedrooms for that matter. The holiday spirit is more front and center in the common living and dining spaces. But we get a couple of things: wall art, snowflake string lights, and some greeting cards in the kitchen just for the fun of it. This next room is the dining room, plus the room that has our very first Christmas tree. Finding the spot for it though was a little tricky. It just didn't look right in front of the windows, which would have been ideal because then you can see it from the front, but I just couldn't get with it. I even tried putting some tables behind it, and it wasn't sitting right with me. So the trees go into, or I'm sorry, the singular tree goes into the little corner. Before adding anything else, though, I have to switch up the wallpaper because I was not happy with it, and I end up picking one from Parenthood and kind of add it all over the place. For the dining space, I really lean into the season's expansion pack again here. This table is no stranger to me, but I've never been a fan of these chairs. In my opinion, they're just so blocky, bulky, all of the above. Sometimes that could be good depending on the piece of furniture, but for this particular chair, it just does not sit well with me. No pun intended. When choosing a rug here, I wanted to try and bring in some of the dark blue from the kitchen. I think I end up keeping this one, but I'll need you to tell me if it works or not because I am not entirely sure if I'm sold on it 100% just yet. I also wanted to make sure that there was something happening on the table too, like a centerpiece moment. Seasons has this modular garland decor that works nicely for a holiday build like this, plus a couple of candlesticks from Love Struck. The dining room also gets a very festive fireplace in just a little bit. I grab it from Seasons, but there's also one in the holiday pack. It's really only good once a year, though, unfortunately. I wish it had some plain swatches, or better yet, I wish that maybe the one in Seasons was undecorated, but the one from the holiday pack matches it but has the decorations. That would at least make the item a little more versatile. Above the fireplace here, I layer a couple of these mirrors together and add some string lights from businesses and hobbies. So then I figured it was probably time to tackle the other bump out in here that I was struggling with earlier. Maybe a skill item? I tried a piano, but it blocked the window, so I didn't really like that. So I went with a safe route and grabbed a chess table. There was a long time when I would actually never even think to add a chess table in builds, but the last few months or so, they have been in almost every single build. It's actually really kind of funny how that happens sometimes when you fixate on a certain object and then it's just everywhere in your builds. Hello, Dine Out Plant. Anyway, it's a good item to help increase the logic skill, so it can be very useful in gameplay, so I'm glad it came out here. Okay, now we're going to be jumping around a little bit, putting little pieces of decor here and there, more greeting cards, another nutcracker, and we're even bringing back a tree. This one actually being from the holiday pack. I don't remember at what point I actually changed out the other tree or got rid of it, but I did. So oops, my bad. We have one now though. On the table under the window, I do this thing that I do in almost every holiday build, sizing down doll houses to kind of create a gingerbread look moment. Or if you think of like those winter village things that parents or mothers, I don't know, they set up in their homes and stuff, like they have the whole set. It's just insane. I got this idea years ago because I saw someone else do it, and I'm honestly so sorry because I don't remember who it was. It was years ago, but I just love using the dollhouses in that little way. It's really cute. Oh, I actually did change the rug, it looks like, behind the scenes. I've been trying to wrap up this year's videos, so I built this quite a bit ago. The reason being for all the, bulk recording and stuff is that I am actually really eager to get to work on some of my 2026 video ideas. I have some big goals, but I'm also trying to take my time and enjoy the process of it all too. So, no pressure, I guess. I'm just feeling really inspired recently, and this is actually my last voiceover of the year. Not the last video. Okay, don't worry. I have another one coming to you next weekend, but I already wrapped that one up. So this is the last one I'm doing for the video being posted this year. Anyway, that was a mouthful. Let's go on to our half bath here. This is pretty simple. It's just a toilet and a sink, pretty much a great place when you have like guests over to kind of just use a bathroom and then, not get in the way of a shower, tub, and all of that. craziness. But yeah, pretty much the bathrooms upstairs end up being a duplicate of this one, except added with a shower and stuff. So all of those are done off camera, but you kind of get the idea. At least I think they're all done off camera. I guess we'll find out in quite a little bit. As for decorations in the bathrooms, all three of them actually, I use a shelf to add some plants, a candle, and a few extra rolls of toilet paper, which are very, very important, plus a cute little flower press wall art from Enchanted by Nature. I feel like it matched the Parenthood tile really well in here and helped bring out some of the blues and yellows. You'll see it in just a quick second. And then just a quick little bath mat here so that your feet don't get cold if you walk in with, socks or no shoes and all of that, because I hate when that happens. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I need my feet to be warm. Next up, we are going to knock out the entryway really quick. It's actually a pretty big entrance, but I don't put too much in here. We start off with some wall plants. We add some garland to the archway and even more string lights in here. Then I'm going to pull out a chair, and I think I get one that might be from Adventures Await. And then I add a little handbag on top of the chair as if like someone just dropped it off on their way through. That's from a somewhat recent kit, and I cannot remember for the life of me right now which kit it is, but it's pretty recent. I even put some clutter on the stairs. In just a second, you're going to see, yep, right now I'm putting a basket up there. And I even put some clutter on the ledge of the archway. That's a little fun touch too. Kind of, again, just like someone setting something down as you're walking through from room to room. And surprisingly for our rug, the Vampire's Runner looks so good in here. You're going to see that soon too. I keep talking ahead of myself and I'm so sorry, but we're getting a mirror up here, shoe rack, a coat hanger, and I think probably just a plant. Yeah, like I said, nothing too exciting happening in this room, but here is where I discovered the Vampire's Rug is just key to putting this room all together. We just make it a little shorter and we do a dark blue-ish kind of vibe here, so that works out pretty well. Now, moving on into the living room in just a quick second after I put this coat closet down is where we have all the important things like our main Christmas tree. This is where all of the presents are piled up high waiting for the family to come and open them all up. What do you think is inside of them? I'm curious. I think maybe some SpongeBob plushies? Maybe? Or is that joke a little too soon? Well, if it's a little too soon for you, I hate to say it because I do use the SpongeBob kits in this build, but we are going to talk about that a little later. Anyway, this living room is kind of a weird long shape and with a large archway, so it was a little weird to kind of lay out some furniture, and I did not want to delete the archway. I really liked it. So we're going to deal with it, and that's just going to be it. I grabbed one of the new armchairs from the creator kit we just got, the one called Modern Retreat, created by Tud Tuds. I remembered it. Yay. So proud of myself. And of course we need a TV in here for all of the holiday movies we're going to watch. I put that on top of the cats and dogs table and then grab a couch from the Desert Luxe kit. I really like this couch actually. It looks really comfy. But then this all gets tied together, of course, with a rug, which I believe is also from the Modern Retreat kit, if I am not mistaken. And then other little details that end up coming into play here is a little pet bed, a little nod to the dog or cat or something that your sim family might have, and a little playmat for an infant. Overall, I really wanted this room to feel welcoming because it's probably one of the first things you see when you walk into the house after the entryway, of course, because of this really large archway, right? You're just looking right into it. So it needed to be a little inviting, like, hey, come get cozy on up, watch a movie, watch some TV, come chill, come chat, all of that good stuff. But either way, I really like how it came out, and we're just gonna grab some lighting. But on to the upstairs now. We have our third Christmas tree up here. The landing has a ton of space, so why not? I mean, I had to fill it with something, right? This becomes something of like an office / recreational area just for kind of hanging out, maybe some skill building, some fun, etc. There ends up being a couple of activities here. We have a piano that I'm cluttering up right now with a plant and some books, and then also a foosball table makes its way over here as well. I think honestly I would have preferred putting a pool table up here, and it is still a crime that we don't have a pool table in The Sims 4. We've had it in every other iteration of this game. But no, we get foosball and like ping pong? Nah, I'm good. I would have much rather have a pool table. But before I grab that, we are working on this little seating area where I get a nice cozy couch and a lamp and end table, plus this gallery wall piece of art here, which I absolutely love from Seasons. This swatch in particular reminds me of Valaris, one of the places in the world of Akatar. I won't go that much into it right now, but I love that series, and I guess if you know, then you know. And then I think it came out pretty cute, this whole landing. It's the last chance I really had at adding some holiday spirit into the home. And like I mentioned earlier, I don't add any like holiday decor into any of the bedrooms. I personally don't decorate my bedroom for any holiday really, so I'd imagine my Sims wouldn't either. As much as I love the holidays and embracing the spirit, it's kind of nice to have a space that isn't, decorated. But anyway, we are over by the foosball table. Well, we kind of sped past that, didn't we? I end up getting a couple of stools and a trophy shelf there. Maybe one of the Sims is a foosball champion, or one of the Sim kids gets a lot of like participation trophies. Personally, I have had so many participation trophies that I recently kind of started decluttering and getting rid of, but I did keep some of the ones that were actually placing trophies, which when I was in competitive cheerleading and stuff, those are the important ones. But anyway, last but not least, in the landing, I add a desk space with a computer for the family to share. One of the bedrooms up here will also have another like desk and computer, so there's options. But then of course Sims have laptops and can work at the dining space below. But we are already on to the first bedroom. We're working on it now, and this is the primary bedroom. They are the lucky ones with, of course, an ensuite bathroom. As you can see, the bathroom looks basically identical to the one downstairs, so not much new to report there. And onto the bedroom, I tried a couple of different beds before settling on this one from Lovestruck, and then this room kind of came together as something very cozy and very zen. I actually end up using a mix of dark and light wood tones that was actually pretty pretty. Wow, that was weird to say. If there's anything I learned though from building in this game, it is not to stress too much about the matching wood tones and just kind of embrace the chaos of it all. Other thoughts on this room, it feels very clean and organized. I imagine the parents need that in a house with kids. Maybe even like every other spot in the home is just a mess and it isn't perfectly clean, or you can't keep up with it, but you can keep up with this space. And honestly, we all need that kind of space in our homes. In all, there are 2 dressers in here and a bookcase plus a plant after I went through 1,001 options. On the dresser, though, there is some clutter, another plant, some baby pictures, and some mail clutter, actually. Maybe just some things in the process of being sorted out. Sometimes you walk away mid-project and it happens and you'll get to it later. Anyway, the very next bedroom we're going to be working on is an explosion of color. I think I'm rather predictable in my building when it comes to that, because I tend to keep the same wood tones and things in the primary bedroom. But then once I get to a kid's room, all bets are off the table and I'm ready to just go wild. I knew I wanted to decorate a teen's room, and I really love the idea of using the bed from Lovestruck, the one with like the little tiger swatch on it, this one with like the rainbow tones. It kind of gives like Lisa Frank vibe, so that's kind of the theme I'm gonna start going with. I really needed the color, so I end up doing something super fun in here too, like so fun that I wish this was in my current bedroom setup. I used 2 of these laundry day end tables as like kind of a bed frame. You're gonna see me do it in like an L shape here, kind of as if when you make your own like L-shaped sofa before we had Dream Home Decorator. So I'm going to add those framing the bed, and later we are going to clutter it up so much clutter. And I'm so excited for you to see it all. But before that, I got to get a couple other things like the fun little businesses and hobbies light, plus some bookcases from the Book Nook kit. I end up eventually putting a TV over there, plus a gaming console. Honestly, I bet this teen spends so much time in the room. I really see no reason for them to ever leave, except maybe to eat or use the bathroom or something. But anyway, the wall is no exception for color. This gets cluttered up too with so many colorful pieces of artwork, and of course I had to use that gallery wall item. I just hit my mic, I'm sorry. But I had to use the gallery wall item that we got with the Pride drop earlier this year. It was just perfect for this room, and it had the little tiger swatch on there too, so it kind of like tied it all in. But for the clutter, you are seeing now, I get the tiger from the For Rent debug menu to match the bed as well, a little kitty from the Storybook Nursery kit, an imaginary friend doll, and a freezer bunny plushie. I relate to The Sim so much in this bedroom. I love a plushie. I have so many. I don't even know what to do with them. And I am always impulse buying them. Whenever I see a cute one out in the wild, and it's literally all the time, I have to purchase it. My mom literally has to beg me not to, have like all the time, not even half the time. For the rest of the clutter, I add in a digital picture frame for the Sim to upload all of the pictures of them and their friends and family. This item is actually a base game item, but it did come with the last rewards event before I think Adventures awaits. And then I had to pull some things from the Comfy Gamer kit, stickers, a stationery organizer, some headphones, a book. See, could you think of any other reason at all to leave this room? No, I didn't think so. For a rug, I had to use this fuzzy one from high school years. It's just super cute and has such fun colors to them that add to the room. I did end up using the T.O.O.L mod to size it up a little bit, make it fit a little better. Other details I add that have not been mentioned yet are extra pillows, a hanging plant above the TV here, a stack of books, game controller. There's so much clutter in here. I just cannot stop gushing over it. This room also even gets some string lights, just not holiday themed ones, but okay. This is where I start to add in some SpongeBob kit items though in just a bit. Because, okay, stick with me here. The toy chest from the SpongeBob kit. You cannot deny it. It has fun colors. It has fun, colorful flowers. You can see it sitting right here already, right? And it just works so well in here. But now this room needs some fun colored wallpaper. So I have to be very careful when placing it. But I do end up going with this yellow one from Businesses and Hobbies. It's like this one here with like the little plump bobs. But I have to be careful placing it because if I hold shift, it's going to paint walls in other rooms. So what happened was, off camera, when I did the floor plan, the roofs kept popping in through the walls whenever a room was created. And my workaround, because remember, I'm very proud of the roofing and I didn't want to try and change it, was to create fake walls by building a wall separately and picking it up, then placing it in where I would originally probably close off the room. I actually don't think any of that made sense, so you'll have to let me know if you need me to elaborate or show it off in a future video or something one day. The rest of this room includes a gaming setup. Yay. I tried a few different desk options, but nothing was colorful enough, so I ended up being able to use this one from Pastel Pop Kit. Perfect. I love it in this purple swatch. The PC I end up placing is from the Comfy Gamer Kit, and then we get a little bit of clutter here too, including the Gary lamp. Sorry, not sorry. A keyboard, some books, I think another plant or something, but honestly, for real, can I live in this bedroom? I think I would be very happy here. Even though like heavy pink decor is not really my vibe, I'm not a pink girly, I still just absolutely love this room. I'm just obsessed with it right now. So yeah, you're gonna have to let me know what you think. But we are going to move on to our very final bedroom now. And this one is where we go crazy with the SpongeBob. The second I placed the playmat down in the living room, I knew I was going to do a nursery. Then, as you can see, I pulled out all the SpongeBob items that I think would work well in a nursery. I really leaned into the greens and purples here, and actually it works really well with this cats and dogs curtains. And then even the like Kinder Care nursery items here that you can see from base game, like perfect green for it. And actually, my boyfriend was watching me put this all together, and he said the green dresser with the purple flowers on it made him think of Scooby-Doo. and the light bulb went out. That is what I think might be a fun collab idea if they were to collab with another brand and if the collab is done correctly. Just think of having the gang's clothing in Create a Sim or even a Scooby plush. Oh my god, that'd be so cute. But anyway, I added some more purples here with this Parenthood bookcase, I think. And then I had the bright idea to use the bathroom clutter kit to grab some of those wall decals with like the little turtles here, and then we put like the fish and coral wall decals behind the changing table in a little bit. I'm just really, I love this room so much. I know I said the last one was like maybe my favorite, but honestly I think this one might also be my favorite. Those are the two favorite rooms in this whole build actually. So you guys are gonna have to let me know which one is your favorite down in the comments below too, okay? Please do it. Please tell me. Over here is our changing table station, also using greens and yellows and all of those fun colors here. I even changed the wallpaper to this yellow swatch from, I think that's a Parenthood wallpaper as well. I felt like it balanced the colors out a little bit. And yes, I hit shift, so I did have to fix that a little later. I thought about putting a cute little baby handprint inside that SpongeBob frame, but I ended up deciding to save that trick for another day. And here I go. Apologies in advance. I'm going to fix all of the wallpaper real quick after I try and shift through a couple of other things. Here I noticed it. Yep, there I go. Zooming around, fixing everything. And now that that's fixed, I have to figure out what else to do in this room. So I size up the rug a little bit and then I get Sandy in her place. I change out the toy chest color swatch, make it a little more colorful so that it doesn't match the other one in the other room. And we're going to add some clutter up here on the top of the dresser. We get some plants, I think, a couple of books. I think I get the bookcase, not the bookcase, but the book bundle from the Enchanted by Nature expansion pack. Yeah, the one with the purple mushrooms. I felt like that worked out pretty well. Just like that, we are almost done with this room and this build. And then I thought it would be really cute to add a wall height chart, so I go for the cow plant one. I felt like it matched on theme pretty well. And then I just get a pet bed in here for a pet and baby bonding time. That might be fun. But with all of that completed, after we get a mirror up, we can load up live mode and actually see the house in all of its glory. I skipped some time to try and get the snow to stick, and then everyone went to work and school. Literally, the audacity. They all need to come home. I didn't tell them to do that. But I'm having that issue again where my snow isn't sticking, so we're just going to have to deal with the falling snow and try to imagine this place covered in snow. So I apologize for that, but you know, The Sims, right? Anyway, here is the exterior with snowfall. I'm going to give you guys a quick little bird's eye view here before we go through everything. You guys should probably go inside before you get cold. Here's our bird's eye view where we have our little entryway, nice and cozy little space here. Look, we even have a sim walking in. How cute. On this end, we have our living space, and over here you have a half bath, dining slash skill room, and our kitchen is back here, plus our backyard and our garage. Look at that. Maybe actually while we're here, and then I'll go show you the top floor, maybe we should have Celeste come and do a workout. That might be fun. We can test that out a little bit. We already have our kitchen going here, and we'll take a closer look. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay, the top floor. Up here, you come up the stairs and we're greeted with another like kind of living activity room space. We have a sofa here. We have like a little desk and this foosball table and a piano and stuff, like activities up here. But we have two bathrooms, one of them an ensuite to our primary bedroom here, and then two kid rooms here. Let's check in with Celeste. Look at her getting her workout on. Okay, I see you. Very cool. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have you stop so that you can also test. Oh, I thought this was a workable workbench. Never mind. It's just decoration. Yeah, you can like fitness, sure. Why don't you put up some decorations? These are awful. Hold on. We have to actually Maybe set holiday decoration. Oh, because it's New Year's Eve. Okay, we're gonna take down the decorations. Never mind. We're too late in the season, apparently, in my game to do that. It is cold out, but we do have a swing set here for kiddos, a little small backyard, a garden pot over here. I don't know if we have anything to plant. No. So I'm not going to try it because probably nothing's going to plant right anyway. But we have our water heater as well here, like, and this electrical box back here. So cool. And a grill over on this little tiny back porch. Here is our kitchen. We actually already have some fish tacos, so maybe we call everyone to a meal. But I thought this little kitchen came out kind of cute. We have a lot of things here for baking, as if your sim is already getting into the holiday spirit and things like that. We do also have a pet bowl here in case you do want a pet, either a cat or a dog. Although I don't think I put a litter box anywhere, so if you do go to cat route, you'd have to add that. All our Sims are grabbing some food. Look at little Orion here. He's so cute. I love this Michelson family. I really do. I'll put the walls up so you can see some of the decor up here. He's just gonna sit here. Okay, kid. But yeah, I thought this kitchen came out really cute. Moving on then into our dining room. Look how cozy. We have our Sims enjoying their meal here. We have a couple of doll houses on this end table, which I like to do every holiday season. It's kind of like a gingerbread kind of feel to it. Or like, you know, those like little villages you can set up too for decoration. It's kind of like supposed to be similar to that. We have our bookshelf in here too. Our fireplace is going. Look how cozy that is. We have Christmas tree number 1 in the corner. We have 3 total Christmas trees in this build, I believe. This one I think is from the free holiday like kit. I don't know. It wasn't even really a kit. I don't know what it was, but the free holiday pack. And we have a little chest table over here. Our half bathroom is pretty simple, and we pretty much copy and paste this theme throughout all the other bathrooms in the house. Here's our little entryway. I think this came out pretty cozy, pretty simple too. Nothing too fancy. We've got a couple of rugs, a chair. This is technically a dresser, but I imagined it as like a coat closet kind of thing. Here is our living room. Let me put the walls up so you can actually see the garland hanging in the entryway here, which is really cute. We have our little play place for an infant, a bed for a pet here, and we have our, what I'm calling the main Christmas tree moment. This is where all the presents go, right? This is, which is funny because the fireplace is over there, so if Santa or I'm blanking, Father Winterfest, I think. Father Winter? Yeah, Father Winter came down the chimney. The tree would be closer over there, but anyway, this is where all the presents go. Yeah, and then on this side of the room is just a TV and a little couch. I guess there's not too much seating in here. You could possibly maybe add some more, but I don't know. It's meant to be just a little small, little cozy space. Oh my god, the mess you're making. You better clean that up. Okay. Up here we have, look at all of these windows here for a perfect view of the neighborhood. That's so cozy, especially with the snow falling. Which it's still not sticking, by the way. It's kind of crazy. All right, and we have our third and final Christmas tree up here too. What if we come and play some foosball up here? I think that might be fun. The tree is in your way. How rude. What if I scoot it out a little? There we go. Okay. Maybe these trophies up here are like foosball trophies. I think that might be a fun little storyline to kind of play. And we also have a piano, a little sofa here, and our desk up here. There's actually a decent amount of clutter too, like some books and stuff that maybe just been left out and they're kind of gathering up on this desk space. Let's take a look at the primary bedroom first. I think it's pretty zen, pretty cozy. We can probably have Celeste come and relax up here for a quick second. Yeah, look at that. That's so cozy. In this corner, we just have a bookshelf and a dresser. And then, of course, we have like kid pictures up here and some male clutter because you just throw things around sometimes. And this is their ensuite bathroom. So I will have Celeste come and maybe wash off her workout from earlier. Or can you not get over here? Ah, you can't get over here. Well, that is a problem. What if I just scooch it into the wall a little bit? No. Okay. That's okay. I'm just gonna have to delete it. I'm not gonna play that game today. Now the bed's in the way? You have all of this room. Okay. I'm starting to think it could be the mirror and the plant. So maybe if we put them here. Okay. We got it. We figured it out. Beautiful. Our bathroom up here is perfectly functional. Yay! Christopher, since you are up here, why don't you do me the favor and test out this bathroom for us, please? This bathroom, I would imagine. I'm so sorry. I'm always doing that. I'm always watching my Sims use it. Uh, but anyway, this is for the kids to share. And you're kind of already getting a sneak peek of some of the bedrooms. So, Atlas, what's wrong? You can't get to the shower? Is that what it was? Yes. I think it's probably the wrong way around, which actually kind of really sucks because now I have to move it all, but that's okay. We're just gonna flip it. Our door will come on this side instead. I'm sorry, I got really quiet when I was doing this. Okay. Okay, why don't we try this again? Beautiful. I knew it. Now test out this little teenager room here. I actually really like how this came out. I love all the clutter. Especially love all of the stuffed animals here. Were you not able to get over here, kid? Go here. I think I know our issue. Up here, I put this shelf on the back of the door because I thought it would look kind of cool, but I wasn't sure if that was going to work. So I think that is our issue. It is perfect. What a fun room. And then you can even watch TV. Watch a movie. Watch Sims of the Dead. You probably shouldn't be watching that, maybe. Oh, I love it. On the other side of the room here, we have a dresser and our desk. Let me actually make sure we can sit here. We can sit here, so you can use the computer here and everything. That's perfect. And there are a couple of items here from the SpongeBob kits here. We've got Gary up here and a toy chest here. But our final room, as you guys may have known from the speed build, has a lot more SpongeBob stuff going on. You are always making a mess, aren't you? Always. Here is our SpongeBob themed nursery. I think this is so cute. I technically don't have an infant to come and test this out, but we can probably go ahead and purchase some fish. Let's fully stock it. Look at that. Okay, I actually love the greens and purples in this room. Oh, hello, plant. I just think they came out so cute. I think this is just so fun. You can't deny it. I know it's the SpongeBob pack, but it's cute, okay? It's really cute. But if you don't have it, you can use other items that you do have to kind of replace what I do use here. You can just probably put a random dresser here and a toy chest and you know, lamps, and we have so many activity tables, and you can do another fish tank. Like, you can probably make it work somehow, some way, but you know what I mean? But this just came out so cute. I love the like little under the sea theme, but using greens and purples. We're just gonna have to settle for a snowstorm because I cannot get this snow to stick. My game hates me apparently, and it's New Year's Eve in the game, but okay, whatever. Well, thank you guys for joining me for this Christmas Craftsman home. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you think. And I also hope you guys have a wonderfully beautiful holiday season this year. I know it's been kind of a crazy year with a lot of stuff happening, but I hope you guys, oh, the snow is slowing, whatever. I hope you guys get the time to kind of chill and enjoy it with some of your favorite people, your family and loved ones and such. I just noticed these floating beams. Oh my god. I'll fix that before I upload. Anyway, thank you guys for supporting me throughout this year. I really appreciate you guys so much. I know there's been some inconsistencies here and there, but we made it through. We pulled through. Strong finish to the end of the year. I'm so proud. Also, a big shout out to my channel members. You guys rock so much. This is something I introduced earlier this year as well, and I was shocked that anyone even signed up and decided to support me in that way. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. You inspire me every single day to keep creating. I think that's all I have to say. That was a lot. I got a little gushy at the end there, but yeah, I hope you guys don't mind. I will talk to you all in the next one. Bye.